Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for being here today for the third annual TELUS Originals Producer Information Session. My name is Leah Kamenzind, and I'm pleased to be the host of today's event, as well as the Managing Production Executive and Team Lead for TELUS Originals. The TELUS Originals program supports the production of documentaries and docuseries as part of TELUS's mandate per the Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission, CRTC, to support community programming in regions where TELUS provides cable TV services, which for us means approximately 15 regions across BC and Alberta. So for anyone joining today who is a TELUS Optic TV customer, thank you so much for being a customer. Your loyalty helps us fund incredible works across these two provinces. I would like to begin by honoring that the land on which my team and I gather on today is the unceded traditional territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations here in the Lower Mainland, as well as within Treaty 6 territory and the Métis homelands and Métis nations of Alberta Region 4, for Kelly, who's joining with us today. We recognize, honor, and respect the presence of Indigenous peoples, past, present, and future, and acknowledge that TELUS's work spans many Indigenous territories and treaty areas. We recognize the land as an act of reconciliation and gratitude. I would also like to thank our ASL interpreters, Carmen and Larissa, for being part of this session. Thank you so much. My commitment to you is that I will not speak faster than this. So thank you so much. We're so glad you could be here. A live transcript is available for this live stream. So please click on the URL in the chat to view this during the session. If you need to leave the session early or would like to watch at a later date, a recording will be available directly afterwards here at the same link on the TELUS Originals YouTube page. And please subscribe if you haven't already. It's not a competition, but we do have some catching up to do to StoryHive. Next, it's my incredible pleasure to introduce to you the most incredible people I could imagine working with, TELUS Originals production executives. Christina Willings is a senior program manager and a senior production executive on the team who brings nearly 30 years of film and television experience, including roles such as director, producer, board member, and industry policy advisor. Christina, thanks so much for being here today. Next, we have Ken Choi. He's a senior production executive on the team and is also an active member on Vancouver's film community with his work as a board member of the Cinematheque, an industry and live performance curator for TELUS International Film Festival, and so much more. Next, please bring to the stage Selena Cramond, another production executive on the TELUS Originals team. Selena has worked in the documentary industry for over a decade, most notably through her role as director of programming at Doxa Documentary Film Festival, a programmer at Hot Docs International Film Festival, and most recently as a program analyst on the film and TV funding team at Creative BC. Lastly, I'd love to introduce to the stage Kelly Fox. She's the Senior Marketing Manager for TELUS Originals. Leveraging over 2 decades of documentary expertise, Kelly closely collaborates with filmmakers and communities to maximize each project's ability to captivate audiences, spark meaningful conversation, and drive positive societal change. And surely they do. Our agenda today will include us sharing an overview of the TELUS Originals documentary program, an opportunity for live questions during the Q&A period, and you can add your questions to the comments section of this virtual platform through the presentation. I'm doing a speed check, so I'm going to slow down for a moment. After the Q&A portion, the producer information session on this platform will end, and you'll be offered the opportunity to join breakout sessions, 3 breakout sessions with production executives. Joining these breakout sessions is entirely optional. So if you only got 60 minutes with us, that's totally okay. But if you do have an extra 30, I really recommend you stay and join a breakout session where you can have the opportunity to connect directly with a production executive in a smaller group setting to introduce yourself and ask any follow-up questions you may have. The breakout sessions will be split up by themes, and I mentioned there's 3 of them. There's business affairs and license terms, pitch submission process, and areas of narrative focus for 2025. Instructions on how to join the breakout sessions will be shared after the Q&A, And next, I think that's all the housekeeping items. I'll pass the floor over to my colleague Ken to introduce our program.
Great. Thank you so much, Leah. Hi, everybody. So, TELUS Originals is a BC and Alberta-based documentary program that supports the production of compelling, locally reflective, social purpose documentaries and docuseries. The program has supported documentary production across these two provinces for over 10 years, and since then, we've provided over $29 million to mid-career and established documentary producers. This work has resulted in over 410 documentaries and docuseries episodes that audiences locally and globally have enjoyed. So just to give you a sense of the program, I want to show you the sizzle reel that we have.
Look out for people around you.
These are stories for children to hear.
This is what it will take to make change.
We're all going to do this together.
All right, now that we have a sense of the program, I'd like to pass things off to Christina, who's going to tell you a little bit more.
Thank you, Ken. TELUS Originals. So this is a slide that gives you a sense of how we do what we do, and who we do it with. So I'll start with the who. We work with mid-career to establish documentary producers. So our filmmakers come to us generally having made one or two films. They can be shorts, they can be leveling up to a feature documentary, but generally they're not what many would call emerging producers. They come to us with some experience and some proof of concept prior work for us. And we love to see what your prior work has been. It's not mandatory, but we're always interested. We support short, mid-length, and feature-length documentaries. And every year we do usually one limited documentary series. Sometimes we do more. A limited documentary series is usually 5 to 6 episodes. And that's generally what the budget level that we work with can support. It's very important for us to represent that diversity, the full kaleidoscope richness of the populations in BC and Alberta. And this is true both behind and in front of the camera. So keep that in mind when you think about a project for us and who is involved in your project. Another important thing to know is that you, as the producer, retain all intellectual property rights to your project. We don't take any kind of an equity position. We don't give you money and in return completely control your project into perpetuity. That's not how this works. You are you fully retain the right to exploit, if you don't mind my using that industry standard but somewhat problematic word, your property in whichever way you would like after you have delivered to us and after we have planned a launch with you. And Kelly will talk to you more about that later on. But this project is yours. We support it. We would like it on our platforms, but the project remains with you. And another aspect of that is that we don't also take any exclusive windows. So we take a 10-year license, but it's completely non-exclusive. So you are able to sell into distribution to your heart's content, and that is absolutely fine with us. What we're interested in is that your work is seen. And an amplification of that point as well is that although we are required by our CRTC, of course, to have your programs on our platforms, and we want them on our platforms. One of our platforms is an internet-based platform, and specifically because of that, and in general, we will provide holdbacks for festival runs and or impact campaigns that you might have in mind. Our interest really overlaps with your interest in that we really want your content to be seen as widely as possible. So don't be afraid to bring up those conversations. We have a minimum sort of 6-month holdback that we will automatically offer to you, and will, for any sort of longer holdback ideas that you might have in mind, we're willing to negotiate past that, but that is our standard default. So that's a quick overview of how we do what we do. And now I'm going to turn it over to Selena Kremen to walk you through some of the key documents that we have where you can find further information. Hi, Selena. Over to you.
Hello. Thank you. Thanks, Christina. Just to dig into some of these components a little bit deeper, I'd like to share our website directly with folks and just show you a little bit of where you find more information about how to work with us. So, Emily, can you please scroll down to the Get Started section? So this is our TELUS Originals homepage, and we'll pop that in the chat a little later. But just down here, Get Started. So I think we'll start with producer guidelines. So if you want to go into the producer guidelines there, I just want to give you a sense of what is required and some of what we look for in a project, and some of the eligibility kind of criteria for working with us. So this document is very much sort of like the TELUS Originals Bible, in that it gives you a really good overview of all of the components we look for when adjudicating a pitch. In particular, I did want to call out the section about financing, and we will, dig into this a little bit more in the Q&A as well as the breakout rooms. But right here, due to our CRTC conditions of license, we are limited in terms of the types of partners you're able to work with when it comes to putting your finance structure together for us. So please do, take some time, read through this document very carefully, and then, of course, we're always available to dig into any specific questions you might have after going through it. Emily, if you want to go navigate back to the homepage, I just want to take a peek at the pitch submission guidelines here. So this document is really there to help support your pitch submission. So on June 2nd, we'll be launching our pitch submission application. But if you want to take some time to start gathering your materials in advance of June 2nd, this is a great resource for you. It'll show you all the different things that we require in a pitch submission. So definitely please take time to go through this. Pitch document, key creative, budget. Yes. So hopefully that will be helpful in terms of gathering up all the materials you need to submit. And you can submit nice and early to us. June 2nd until June 30th is when our pitch form will be open. And then I just want to show folks one more thing on our website. If you navigate back, if you go down just below this section, projects in the works and coming soon. So here is where you can find more information about the projects that we've recently supported and projects that are in production. It does take some time, as you know, filmmakers know, to get a documentary off the ground into delivery. So these tabs will show you all the different projects we currently have in production. And it's really handy if you're looking to learn more about what types of projects we support. I recommend taking a read through. And it's also exciting here for the projects coming soon, because you'll get a sense of the projects that'll be coming to festivals soon and coming to our platforms soon. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an overview of our website and some of the places you can find more information. And as I say, we're going to be discussing more details about the producer guidelines in our breakout sessions. So for now, I'd like to pass it over to my colleague Ken, who can tell you more about where you can find our films once they're launched into market.
Great. Thank you so much, Selena. All right. So when our films are complete, they can be found on so many different platforms. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about them. So while TELUS Originals films are hyperlocal to regions across BC and Alberta, audiences nationally and globally can enjoy them as well. TELUS Optic TV customers in BC and Alberta can watch TELUS Original films on Channel 8, and select titles are also available to TELUS Stream Plus customers as well. And anyone can check us out online at watch.telusoriginals.com for a selection of the titles. We've also been able to support several films that you can find on platforms including CPC Gem, Knowledge Network, TVO, and Paramount Plus. And we've had premieres at festivals including Hot Docs, Imaginative, the Vancouver International Film Festival, Calgary International Film Festival, Northwest Fest, Big Sky, Doc, NYC, and the British Film Institute's FLAIR program. But I'll pass things off to Kelly to share some of the highlights that we've had and drill down on some of the recent successes that we've had with our program.
Great. Thanks, Ken. It's just such a pleasure that I get to do this part of it, because I get to tell you all about where films have gone and how they've been successful. So I want to start with a brand new film that's not on the slide right now, but we're thrilled to share that the TELUS Originals feature doc Skoden, which was written and produced and directed by Damien Eaglebear, is actually going to be having its world premiere at Hot Docs this year. And following that, you can watch it at Doxa. And the film delves into the origin of Indian country's most iconic meme to redefine a man at the center of it all, Purnell Badarms. So it's really an inside look at something that you may think you know about, but you need to watch the film to fully understand. And we're going to get additional selections for that coming soon that we can announce. The next one that I'd want to mention is Sayawa Awaken, and it's actually just been nominated for a Canadian Screen Award. So this was directed by Liz Marshall, and it's a powerful film talking about intergenerational healing. And it was nominated for the Donald Britton Award for Best Social Political Documentary Program. So while it had a really successful festival run and community screenings, you can now watch it on TELUS platforms, Hollywood Suite, and Knowledge Network. So the next one, and I know I'm going really fast because I'm excited. So sorry, caption folks, I just get too excited with these ones. But Ari's Theme is the next one I wanted to mention, which was directed by Jeff Petrie and Nathan Drio. And it's had a major festival impact. So it actually premiered at Hot Docs in 2024 and then opened for the Vancouver Film Festival with a live score by members of the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra. And then it closed in 2025 in February at the Victoria Film Festival and was accompanied by members of the Victoria Conservatory of Music. So these performances really realized the film subject and composer Ari Katharni's dream of sharing his music with a live audience. And I just wanted to say that a little quote from the film that he had said was, "I have to remind myself constantly that this is a power I have. I have the ability to create something that makes people feel." And so we were really pleased that not only did this film get out there, but his goal and dream of seeing people watch his compositions being performed live was realized. So this actually released on our platforms on Family Day of this year. So you can watch it on Optic TV or online. The next one is Curl Power by Josephine Anderson. And it's her acclaimed documentary that has enjoyed incredible success in festivals, but it's actually become our top performing theatrical release. And it screened at 73 Cineplex and Landmark theaters nationwide in January and February of 2025. And then it released on Optic TV in March and now is on Apple TV. It's premiering tomorrow on Hollywood Suite, and it will come to our online portal later this year. And then Jules Kostashins, Nimisak Sisters in Film, shares the personal experiences of Indigenous women storytellers and features, of course, the matriarch of Indigenous filmmaking, Alanis Bomsuan. And it premiered at Whistler Film Festival in December. and recently won Best of BC Award at GemFest in March. And so this film is actually coming up on our platforms on June 20th to celebrate National Indigenous Peoples Day the next day. So something to watch out for. But something to watch for today is that I'm excited to tell you that Mads Bekkevold's award-winning documentary, The Chef and the Daruma, about Vancouver's legendary chef Tojo, is launching today. So if you have time after this session or any time coming up, I'd invite you to go to Channel 8 on TELUS Optic TV or online at watch.telusoriginals.com and check out The Chef and the Daruma starting today. And also, if you want to find out where we're screening and when new launches are coming up, I'd also invite you to join our Instagram page, which is just TELUS Originals. So you can find out about what we're doing in festivals, what our films are doing, and also just program insights from the industry in general when film festivals open up, etc. So I'll turn it back over to Leah, but thank you for indulging me in a moment to talk about where our films have been and where they're going.
Thanks very much, Kelly. It's difficult to be on an online platform without emojis and reactions to celebrate all the successes of the filmmakers and crews that have produced and directed and made possible these films. But thanks for sharing an overview with our audience. So thanks, everyone, and thanks, team. For members of the audience, this is a great time to think about what your questions might be. We do have a 15-minute Q&A period as a larger group before the breakouts begin. So please enter your questions in the chat so we can answer them for you. We do see a couple coming in and appreciate folks who've submitted those questions. I'll give everyone a moment. Great. So let's move on to the next slide. We have one more slide before we get into that Q&A period. There are many ways, as you can see from our website and this slide here, to engage with our team. We really do aspire to be very accessible and transparent. To get a sense of whether your pitch might be well suited for what we're looking for, we have many materials available online. You can email us a one-liner at telusoriginals@telus.com or send it to telusoriginals@telus.com. Of course, reviewing our producer guidelines and our pitch submission guidelines, which Selena reviewed, is a really great place to start. I'd be remiss not to encourage you all to follow us on Instagram if you don't already. And actually, there's one more thing to add here that's not on the slide. If you are not yet part of our mailing group, please do go on our website and add yourself. We send 2 emails a year, maybe. So it's pretty light. We're not going to spam you. Maybe it'll increase to 4 or 6 a year in the coming years. But really, this is our easiest way to tell people who are interested in our program about our key dates. And usually that's around when we accept pitches. So please subscribe to that mailing list. And then submit a pitch. If you think that what you have in development at the moment is a good fit for us, please do submit a pitch during our annual pitch intake window, which is open from June 2nd to June 3rd of this year. So I'd like to thank you for coming to this event and attending. We have this QR code here. We got a couple notifications that people have been scanning the QR code. So please do this. The QR code is listed twice on this slide, but they both take you to the same place. And let's see if we've got any questions. That wraps up the presentation portion of the session. And let's get into the questions. Pause and go over here. Okay, we've got a couple questions. I know you've got more questions, so please don't be shy. I've been in a season of asking basic questions, so please take my lead and do the same. If we haven't answered your questions yet, please toss them in there. No question's a bad question. So they're coming in. Excellent. Good job, folks. You're doing great. Okay, so the first question that we had come in was around geo-blocking for online internet viewing. Bunch to say here, some details. Christina, do you want to take this one and start us off with that answer?
Sure, happy to. I love that. A season of questions, or however it was you said that was perfect. Um, So the question that came in is, are you geo-blocked for internet viewing? Well, the answer is yes. Our online viewing platform, watch.telusoriginals.com, has very robust geo-blocking capability, which is great. And we do offer that. We do, and we can offer it for a limited time generally to producers. This goes back to what I said earlier about holdbacks, to producers who have bona fide pending distribution deals of some kind, or have a good likelihood of securing something and have those established relationships. But that is something definitely you can talk to us about. We also make our films available for free to TELUS. To customers of Stream Plus, that is customers who sign up for the TELUS Stream Plus bundle that bundles together large OTT streaming services like Disney Plus and Netflix. And it also gives them then access to the TELUS TV Plus app. And so people who have that Stream Plus bundle will always also have access to the TV Plus app, and our content does appear on the TV Plus app. So it's available only to TELUS customers who purchase that content bundle. But that's the other thing to be aware of, that we will put it eventually on that mobile application.
Wonderful. Thanks very much, Christina. We've got a couple of questions here that are around surrounding location. So maybe I'll just answer those really quickly and kind of together. But seeing great questions coming in here, folks. You're doing great. Keep going. So one question was, can a BC-based producer work with a production partner outside of British Columbia? Yes, that's no problem for TELUS Originals. You can live anywhere in Canada, in fact, so long as the producer signs a production agreement with us as a Canadian citizen or permanent resident. We do tend to largely fund producers and production companies who are based in BC and Alberta, but that's not exclusive. We do work with people outside of these two provinces. If you are outside the provinces that we support, BC and Alberta, then we'd like to know, like, what's your authentic connection to that story in that region? So that answers that, I believe. And then there's another question here. The guidelines state 80% or more should be filmed in Alberta and BC, but can producers be from other parts of Canada? So yes, they can be, but we'd like to know what your authentic connection is to the region. And we do have an emphasis on supporting folks in the West. Just to be really specific, it's not just 80% anywhere in BC and Alberta. We have 15 regions where we have funds to provide. So I give the example of Prince George, for instance. We were just talking about Delta Dawn, which is a Prince George-based story. So of all the TELUS Optic TV customers that are in Prince George, we get a percentage of their bill, frankly, their monthly bill. We get a percentage of that money to steward back into the community for the production of Canadian content. So I have 15 budgets: a budget for Prince George, a budget for Vernon, a budget for Lloydminster, for Lethbridge, etc. And the films that we fund from that community have to be reflective of that community, and 80% needs to be shot in that community to give the customers who purchased the service in the first place content that reflects their community. Okay, cool. Selena, do you want to take this one? Are there any specific themes you look for, or anything qualifies? Question mark.
Sure. So we do have some areas of focus. It's by no means prescriptive, I guess, but we do have several key areas of focus. So health and well-being is one of them, environmental sustainability, connectivity and technology, flourishing youth, families, and communities. So those are kind of our key social purpose pillars, I guess, if you were. And then in our producer guidelines that I showed you on our website, we do dig in a little deeper to those themes. So there are some themes of particular interest for 2025. And I can just read those out for now. And then we will have a breakout session with me. I think I'm hosting that one where we dig in a little deeper. So if you have a specific project idea, you can come and chat about it. But some of the areas of particular interest for this year are aging in place, unpaid caregivers, especially the sandwich generation, impacts of pets on mental health, some animal films, which might be nice, biodiversity protection and enhancement, nature restoration for agricultural productivity, technological innovation in Canada, including responsible use of AI, online safety, and data privacy, as well as we're looking for stories related to youth change makers and newcomers to Canada. So again, not totally prescriptive, but if you want just more information about what we're looking for, you can go to our producer guidelines.
Thanks, Selena. I'm seeing more and more of these region questions, so I'm going to continue to group them together and just answer them quickly. So one question was, do producers or stories both need to be BC and Alberta based? So the story needs to be based in one of our regions. So I'm going to just keep giving the Prince George example or the Lethbridge example, but the producer can be from outside of that community. Could I, a producer from Calgary, pitch an Edmonton-based story? Yes, you can. And then another one, can we film stories on other BC locations not in your list? For instance, would a story in the Alberni-Clayoquot region work? Unfortunately not, because we are getting the funds from customers in those regions. We have to deliver them back a film from that region, and hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Let's see what's next. Can we submit more than one-liner pitch? Ken, do you want to answer this?
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of a one-liner pitch, yeah, I think that as production executives, we want to be able to support and get an understanding of some of the projects that you have in mind. So, there will be opportunities to meet with us, and at that time, it would be great to get a sense of what you're working on, whether that's one project or a few, and happy to sort of respond to those at a time like that, where we can hear more about those one-liners. So yeah, I think that the answer is there is an opportunity to do that.
Okay, can I come back to you with another question, Ken?
Sure.
So this one is, we all know some films have a longer process to capture the full story because of things out of the producer's control. So are their project timelines the same from it being awarded to it being delivered?
Absolutely. And this is one of the things that is really important to consider as you think about applying, is that our projects are based on our projects must be delivered within 18 months of the signing and the approval of the project and the signing of the contract. So it's important to recognize that whichever project that you are submitting can be contained in that production window of 18 months. Anything beyond that is something that we have to really evaluate for feasibility. We cannot go past 18 months of our production window. So when you think about your story, please consider how that story can fit within that time frame, and if it can't, you may want to consider another story or another project, or really think about where the project will end, or find a natural ending point for. So yeah, please do consider that, because it is part of our evaluation process.
Nice. Thanks very much, Ken. There's two more questions that are kind of similar, so I'm going to just group them together. One person asked, what are the regulations for working with nonprofit organizations for production? I think I'd probably have a follow-up question to ask more about that to be able to provide a spot-on answer. But we work with like established documentary producers, typically established production companies. We don't have any regulations against working directly with a nonprofit organization. and certainly don't limit you from working or interviewing people who work at nonprofit organizations. If that answer doesn't fully answer the question, please do join a breakout session, and one of my 3 team members would be happy to answer or further elaborate on that. And then there was another question here. We are a small group of individuals, but we work out of a world-renowned studio and would use this space. Would the status of the company hold us back with TELUS Originals? It depends, are they based in the States? Are they Canadian? I think that probably needs a bit more elaborating on. So probably a good question for a breakout session. I don't know does anyone want to elaborate on that? Or do you feel you've got one, Christina? Go for it.
Sure. On the face of it, just responding to your question, no. We want to work with people who have robust infrastructure and honed skills and a good catalog of prior projects. So none of those things would be barriers to us. So no, that's fine. The only thing that you would have to be aware, as Leah alluded to earlier, and as Selena alluded to earlier, we have some limitations in terms of who can be in your financing structure. So if you're used to working with bigger budget shows, and if you're looking to bring other broadcasters and maybe streamers or whomever into your financing structure, because that's the scale you're used to working at, then you should really make sure you're familiar with what our specific guidelines are. And also, as Leah said, as long as the production entity is Canadian and in Canada, that wouldn't be a problem at all.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Great. Thanks very much, Christina. So a question here, and Selena, maybe this one's a good one for you. Do you prefer to fully finance a film? Or to be part of a broader financing model? Do you want to answer that one?
Sure. I think, similar to Christina's answer to the last question, I think it really depends. Like, we have come in as one of the key kind of foundational financiers, which is, we're open to that, but obviously we want to see that you have other resources. And, I think it's really great if you can tap into infrastructure like tax credits to help support and build out the financing a bit more to support your project. I'm not sure if we have fully defined preference one way or the other, but I think it's like when we're adjudicating a project, we're looking at the feasibility. So we want to make sure, whatever you're putting forward in your creative and in your plan and in your key creative team, that you can support that with our license fee, as well as any other resources that you are able to tap into. And while we do have some limitations on who we could work with, we also are super keen to support projects that are exploring a second window license with another eligible broadcaster, and that list is on our website. So we are open, I think, to range of projects and in terms of where they're at in their financing. But I don't know. I feel like Christina or Ken might want to elaborate a bit as well, if you have anything else to add.
Selena, I don't mind just topping up a bit. And I think the question maybe comes from a knowledge of some production entities who prefer to fully finance the show. We don't have a preference to fully finance the show. Just as Selena beautifully explained, we want the best possible project, and we're really interested in how you can build the budget, because our production licenses, although they may be enough to support a smaller scale production, we really do welcome you to build out your finance structure within our guidelines, as you normally would, to support your production. So, yeah.
Great. Thank you both very much. Kelly, this one is for you. So this person writes, the producer submission guidelines says that producers need to outline a marketing plan. What role, if any, does TELUS play in marketing promotion of a particular film?
Thanks, Leah. That's a great question. So one of the reasons we really want to see a marketing plan is just to make sure that you're thinking ahead to the release of your film. When the film does come time to release, have you thought about who your audience is, where your film's going to release? Is it a festival film, a theatrical film, a community film? So that's one reason, is just to give us a really good idea of where you think it's going to release and make sure that you've put that thought into your film. Because of course that, changes everything about how you make the film and the length of the film. But more than that, when the film does finish up, I'm here to talk to you about holdbacks for our platforms, talk about the release pattern or path for your film. If you're going to go to festivals, if you're going to do community, offer any help and advice I can give. But beyond that, my main goal is to make sure that your films get onto our platforms, onto telusoriginals.com and to Optic TV. So I have some money to help out with a release, but it's fairly limited, and to create the materials that we need in order to release on TELUS platforms. So we want to make sure that when you finish your film, you have some money to travel to festivals if you need to make posters if you need to get a social media marketing person in if you need to. So that part is on you, because as Christina had mentioned earlier, you own the IP to your film. So that is the incredible part of your film, is that you own the IP to it, which also means that we're really excited to have you release the film in the way that makes sense for you. So we want to just make sure that you can support that at the end of your film.
Thank you very much, Kelly. Well said. There's a couple questions here that are either yes, no. So maybe I'll just answer those really quickly. One question is, my subject is located in Smithers, BC. I've been to Smithers, wonderful place. Is this area part of your eligible locations? Sadly not. But if you know people in Smithers, tell them to sign up for TELUS Optic TV, and maybe one day we will. Another question. I believe I heard only one limited series is produced each year. Did I hear that correctly? I'll say that was the case last year. We funded 10 films, 9 were features, standalone docs, 1 was a limited series, but that's not a rule. We don't have a rule around that. It's just that was what we selected last year. It's been the case that we've funded, I think a couple of years ago, I think we funded 3 docuseries, when Pain and Offering, for instance, and Not Your Butter Chicken, and a couple other, were I think all part of that same broadcast year. Can one company pitch more than one project? We have a technical limitation right now that limits us from doing that. So it is one pitch for production company right now. If you have 2 and you think they are both very, very, very well suited for our team, please send us a one-liner for each, and my team will get back to you. Another question, I know it's documentary based. Has there been consideration for doing narrative for any future intakes? We're all docs all the time. The reason for that are many, but the core reasons are that we find that they are best suited for the local reflection and relevance to the communities that we serve. And we also have what Creative BC considers micro budgets. I think Creative BC considers a micro budget anything under $500,000, and ours are often quite a bit lower than that. And so doc is better suited than scripted for us. Here is another question. Maybe Ken, I'll throw this to you. How much experience is required to apply a successful pitch? ? I've just completed a StoryHive doc, but wonder if it's better to apply for a TELUS original or another StoryHive.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it also is involving the scale of your project. I think that the scale of the story that you're trying to tell, we are dedicated to supporting mid-career and established filmmakers. Off the top, we were talking about that. So, but there is still room for people who are still emerging, but really we are focused on mid-career and established. In terms of what I was saying about scale of story, it really depends on the size of your story as well. If it's something that you have lived experience with, that you know the subject very well, and it's well contained into your level of experience, there is an opportunity to support a story like that. And we always go back to the idea of feasibility, the idea of are you at that skill level to be able to tell the story and the scale and scope of that story. So it's something to really consider when you are applying.
There's a question here that was asked earlier that I think I'd probably encourage you sending an email to us about, so we can get to the details of. The question is, I work for TELUS as a freelance sound designer. Am I still able to pitch a production, or is that a conflict of interest? I'd need to know a bit more about that to give a formal answer. So please do email us at TELUS, TELUSoriginals@TELUS.com, and we'll be happy to get back to you. TELUS team members are forbidden from accessing these funds. Like I said, I'd need a bit more information about your involvement with TELUS to be able to give you a good answer. So thanks for sending us a note by email. Another question, are you open to creative form docs, not traditional form interviews, traditional storyline, etc.? Selena, do you want to take this one?
Sure. Yeah. I think, the short answer is yes. We're open to, creative form. I know I am personally, and we all really value, I think, different modes of documentary storytelling. It's interesting. Yeah. Non-traditional form interview, traditional storyline. One thing we discourage people from applying to us with is lifestyle, reality, magazine format style documentary. So that we actively discourage. So again, I think it would be helpful to know more about the specific topic and your approach to really dig into whether or not it would be something we could consider. But yeah, short answer is yes. I don't know if anyone else wants to top up on that.
No, I think you answered that really well. Thank you. Christina, a couple of questions that I'll bundle and pass your way. Is there a typical budget range that you work with for a feature doc? And what is the maximum budget we can request for a 75-minute documentary? Are we allowed to set up a GoFundMe page for funding as well? And then there was a follow-up financing question. So I'm going to bundle a couple here, and I've put them in orange in our working doc in case you want to reference them, because it's a big bundle. Does this support, I'm guessing our support, require dual funding? Can you speak on it? Private funding would qualify with this program.
Okay, I might need a reminder of some of these.
Is there
the other orange one there? Yeah, I can see it now. Thank you, Leah. Yeah, I can answer these. I can have a go at it. Is there a typical budget range? Well, it's really a question of what you're able to cobble together, given our restrictions on your financing structure to support the show and what we want to see, which is kind of refers back to some of Ken's comments. What we want to see is that your budget is going to be adequate to support the scope and breadth of the film that you want to make, right? So that's the first thing I would say about that. That said, generally, because of the imperatives of our kind of adherence to the CRTC guidelines, etc., budgets generally top out around 550 or 600 for us for a feature. So that I will offer that. But in terms of another question, what is the maximum budget we can request? I think the first thing that I would want to clarify here is that we're not actually giving you a budget to support your show. We're giving you a license fee, right? And our license fees tend to be kind of higher than conventional broadcast license fees, which is great. And for us, that goes some way toward compensating the fact that your financing structure is more limited than it might be if you were working with another funding source or another program, because we can't have most conventional broadcasters in your financing structure, like CBC, for example. You can sell to them as a second window, but we can't have them in your financing. But we can have Knowledge and APTN and TVO because they're educational broadcasters. Okay, you don't have to remember all this because it's on our website, but I'm just giving you some examples. So that said, our license fees generally go from around, I don't know, we don't often give a 30K license fee, but has been known to happen. It can go from 30K up to 250 generally. That is the range of our license fee. So as you can see, it's a broad range and very much depends on the scope and all of the other evaluation metrics that we apply to your project. And are you allowed to set up a GoFundMe page for funding? Well, the thing is that once you go to contract, we want to know that your financing is locked, right? or has a reasonable expectation of being locked in the near future. And a GoFundMe page introduces a bunch of instability into your financing structure. So if you've already collected the money, I mean, it's something that you can come to us and we can talk about. I would say it's not our preferred funding source. And generally, when people come to us having done a couple of documentaries already, they have their own strategies in mind for how to build out a financing for a show. So generally people come to us already with a strategy, and GoFundMe page seems kind of exploratory as a funding source. But again, I mean, there are particulars there, I think, that would determine what our final kind of evaluation would be of that kind of situation.
Great. Thanks very much, Christina. We've got a couple more minutes until we wrap up this Q&A and go into the breakout sessions. Ken, I'll pass this question to you. The person asks, I'm wary of having gaps in my application due to the fact I do not have any formal production training. Do we lose points if we have any missing pieces in our application? Is there room for mentorship?
So to answer the question directly, yes, you will lose points if you have gaps in your application. It's really important that you have all of the materials ready when you submit. As part of the evaluation and our rubric, all sort of aligns with different aspects of each line of the application. So the answer is yes. For mentorship, I would say, there are programs like StoryHive that offer that type of mentorship as part of our TELUS local content ecosystem. So I would really implore you to explore your options with StoryHive if you're looking for a little bit more capacity building. As we said before, TELUS Originals is really geared towards mid-career and established filmmakers who have made films and have proof that of past work that we can really connect with and really start to understand how they work. So that's something to really consider as you apply, and also wanting to spare you time and energy in your application as well, right? Wanting to make sure that you are set up for success. So I want to be really clear on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ken. And I think you said that so well. On the topic of mentorship, I was at an event almost a year ago now, actually, and we just launched the TELUS Original online project catalog that we're all very proud of. It's on our website. Please go check it out. By tabs, you can see which projects we've recently greenlit, which are in production, and which are coming soon. And someone had a real aha moment when we were chatting, and they're like, I went to the catalog and I saw that you're working with my mentor. And I was like, yeah, exactly. And so, if you're an emerging filmmaker, maybe you're in the StoryHive program, maybe it's your first or second or third story, you can apply to StoryHive multiple times. You can participate in StoryHive programs multiple times. I know many people who have. And you're thinking about that next step, like look at the project catalog, see who we're funding. I don't know, give them a call, find out where they're at, give them a call and see if you can work on their projects. If they're looking to take on a mentee, the people we work with are so kind, so generous with their time. And I know many of the people we work with have many mentees. So if you're looking for that mentorship and you're already involved in StoryHive, either on your first project, your second project, or you're in the process of applying, this industry is so collaborative and so supportive, and the people we work with are real gems. So perhaps they have opportunities to provide you with mentorship on projects that they're funded on.
I also want to add, I wanted to add that there is also lots of opportunities at film festivals for mentorship. There's programs and national programs as well that you can really dive into and research. I know there's many there. So really do look at your opportunities through cohort programs as well to build capacity. So do consider those.
Nice. I'm getting the sign to wrap up. So for the questions that are remaining here, please do bring them to the breakout session. I will say there's a question here that's around representation, and we have a section in our producer guidelines that's all about authentic storytelling and the incredible organizations in the industry that we admire greatly and have huge respect for. And this question in particular pertains to questions that may perhaps be answered in the Indigenous Screen Office's Pathways and Protocols document, the on-screen Pathways and Protocols document, a media production guide to working with First Nation, Métis, and Inuit communities, cultures, concepts, and stories. So I really encourage you to be very, 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 very familiar with that document if you're interested in telling Indigenous themed stories. We take it very seriously and have very robust conversations around that as we engage in those stories. That wraps up our third annual TELUS Originals Pitch Information Session. A huge thank you to everyone on the stage here admires so much, Emily Weldon. She's behind the scenes, the event producer for today's event. Also, a huge thanks to Erin, who is helping us with the questions. We got through, I think, 99% of them. So big thanks to you, Erin. And a big thanks to the team on the stage here for being present and answering your questions. They're some of the kindest, most thoughtful people that I've ever met, never mind in this industry. Thank you so much, everyone. For those in the audience, thank you so much for attending. If you have any feedback on the session, please complete the feedback form now linked in the YouTube chat. We take all the feedback really seriously and use it to inform next year's session. So please do complete it. It probably takes just a few minutes. As I've mentioned at the start of the event, if you are invited, but it's completely optional to join us for these breakout sessions. There are 3 sessions available from the same Zoom link. Each session will focus on different themes and is moderated by a TELUS Original production executive. The breakout sessions, once again, is Business Affairs and License Terms with Christina, Pitch Submission Process with Ken, and Areas of Narrative Focus for 2025 with Selena. The link is now in the comment sections. If you have any questions that fall outside of these 3 themes, you can join them anyways and feel free to ask them there. You're welcome to join more than one breakout session. You can join one and then another within the 30-minute time frame. Please click the Zoom link found in the YouTube chat now to join the breakout sessions. This Zoom link can be found as well in your registration email from Eventbrite if you registered there. The sessions will begin now. I think my team's already in the sessions. Thank you all for joining today, and we look forward to connecting with you again soon. Best wishes.